All right. Would anyone like to be my volunteer and take attendance? That'd be great. So you don't read the names, you just look around, find them, and mark them as here. Okay. Okay, my goal is this one slide, and then one document, and then something else that I think you'll find pretty interesting. Okay, so what we're looking at is the American family, and we're about to get into some biology here, and that is two terms that you are being held accountable for. One is endogamous, and the other is exogamous. And I have here a little whitish rectangle, and then outside of it is another reddish rectangle, and then outside of it is a brown rectangle. Within the white is the label endogamous. Outside of the white is the term exogamous, and then outside of that one is the third term, outsiders. Yes. Yeah, sure. And then over here you see increased social distance. It doesn't mean increased physical distance. It means increased social. Let me give you an example of what I mean by that. I'm standing here, a fellow white person is standing against that wall, and right next to me is somebody from, say, Japan. Whom do I have a greater social distance from? The Japanese person right next to me is the greater social distance. We don't speak the same language, probably don't have the same religious beliefs, not the same holidays, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That fellow white guy over there and I probably both like baseball, and we both celebrate the 4th of July, and we both like turkey on Thanksgiving. We are fairly endogamous. I just used the word in a context, right? Anyone want to take a shot? What does endogamous mean? Very good. Similar, right? You're alike. If you someday marry somebody who is the same culture as you, race as you, religion as you, enjoys the same music as you, you have just married someone group. They're like you. If you are so bold group, I can remember Graham Grun. God bless her. Graham Grun, my grandma, wonderful lady, but not perfect. And I can remember my brother David bringing home his girlfriend one day for Thanksgiving, and we all met her, and she was pretty cute, so I liked her. I mean, I was like 15, you know. And Graham Grun pulling me over and saying, well, what do you think of David's girlfriend? And I said, I don't know, she's pretty hot. And Graham said, but she's black. And I, acting, said, what? Right? Like, wait, right? So this is sort of a generational thing too. You'll notice that older generations are a little bit less comfortable with going outside of your group. So you'll hear of families that saying, if you're Jewish, you will only marry a Jewish person. Or you're black, you better marry a black person. That's the same sort of idea. Okay. So the group you're in, if you marry someone in that group, you are in an endogamous relationship. If you go outside, then you are in an exogamous relationship. You're increasing the social distance. If you go way out of there, then it's even beyond exogamous. Okay. Pretty simple. Any questions? So I might have a test question that goes something like this. A person of this ancestry and this religion marries somebody from the same ancestry and same religion. Which term applies? Endogamous, right? Versus exogamous. Pretty simple. You live in the country, by the way, that has more exogamous marriages than any other country. And by the way, not even close. And part of the argument as to why is because of what America is. I'll give you an example. Something like 98% of the people who live in Japan are Japanese. And you might be sitting there like, well, yeah. But I can't say that same sentence about this country. 98% of people who live in the United States are not Native American. But not. Where are your ancestors from? Right? Very good chance that they're from Europe or Asia or Africa or whatever. Right? Okay. Any questions here? Very good. Allow me in a minute. You have a minute to chat while I get the next thing up.
You sure? Don't die in this city.
Too late to do that.
Oh, this?
We are on document 10. Document 10.
I don't even know what document
Let's
that
skip
is.
that one. The last document. We're going to cover the last document as far as this page is concerned. The last document we covered was document 8. We didn't do document 9, and that's okay. Did anyone look at this document, document 10? You did. Anybody else? You did. Anybody else? Okay, let's fill the chart in so that we can actually start thinking about how you feel. So which document is document 10?
Document 10.
You're on a roll. You didn't say anything.
Yeah.
Who is the speaker of document 10? What? Who is the speaker of document 10?
Humanist society.
The Humanist Society. Who is the Humanist Society?
They are a non-profit religious organization.
They are a religious organization. Okay. And you'll notice in the credibility that they were part of the lawsuit against that California school that Michael Newdow, the previous documents speaker, remember he sued the Elk Grove School District? This group argued on his behalf. Well, I just gave it away. Should the words be removed or not?
Yeah.
Yes. How'd you figure that out? Okay. Let's look at the argument being made. Skip to the second paragraph. The use of the current version of the pledge in public schools violates the court's coercion analysis. What is coercion? If I coerce you through that door, what just happened? Go ahead. Yeah, like physically forced. Coerced is to be forced. When you, we didn't say it this morning. Did anyone say the pledge this morning? I don't think we said it. Oh, you did. Some of you did. Okay, all right. The argument being made here goes something like this. When you are asked to stand in a public school and say those words, you're being forced to. Now, it's not physical force. The teacher doesn't grab you and say, stand up, damn it. But you are being forced. You're being forced by the stares of your fellow classmates, who, if you don't stand, you start to feel the heat, right? That pressure. Oh, that pressure. God, it gets you teenagers. Come on, just take a smoke. Everyone smokes. Okay. I'm a sheep. Come on, take a drink. Everyone's doing it. All right. Give me that. I want to fit in. When you stand and say the pledge, you are sheep. You are sheep. Now, by the way, don't go home and say, Mr. Ponder says we shouldn't say the pledge because we're female. I am not making this argument. The Human Society is making this argument. I am pretending I am the Humanist Society. Has anyone ever heard of the term captive audience?
Yes. It's like
Right now, you're one. You are a captive audience. You can't leave. I mean, again, it's not that you can't leave. Can I go grab some scissors and stab you in the skull? Yes, I can. Yes, I can. But there would be consequences. Okay? If you got up and left right now, there would be consequences. You have to be here. There's a captive audience. And now I would like everyone, I don't mean this, but I could. I want everyone to stand up and we're going to say the Pledge of Allegiance. In fact, let's try it. Everyone, stand up. Let's say the Pledge of Allegiance. There's the flag. Let's do it. I mean it. Let's go. And you will all stand up and say the pledge. Stand up and say the pledge. Do it. All right, you can sit down.
Why not?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
Some of you did not stand.
Trevor just wanted to be that one guy.
Okay.
They're rebels, I tell you what.
Any thoughts before we shift gears? Okay, again, you have about a minute or two to go ahead and just relax while I set up the next little exercise. Okay?
You're crying. I'm like, it wasn't that scary. No.
Get used to the young girl's hair.
I don't need to. No, I was just like laughing.
My intention is to get this little thing we're about to get going here done within class today. If it doesn't happen, then we can spill over into tomorrow just a bit. I want you to really think about how you feel about the words under God being in the Pledge of Allegiance. Allow me to just interject another fun little fact.
Does the school themselves? No.
Well, okay, so she just said something interesting. She just said 1947. And I will point out that that's when it was edited. It was edited. They added 2 words. And you got it.
Let's see it.
100 years ago, they said the Pledge of Allegiance, but they did not say under God. One nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Which, by the way, it's in the United States. The Pledge of Allegiance. You can't divide the United States. And then, right around the Cold War, they added under God. Because of during the Cold War, there was this global argument going on between the good United States and the evil Soviet Union. The Soviet Union was a communist nation where religion was, by and large, illegal. And what the U.S. tried to say to the world is, hey, world, we're a nation that believes in God. The Soviets don't even believe in God. And how can I prove to you that we believe in God? Because it's in our pledge. Under God. So there was this attempt to persuade the world that we were good and they were bad. Okay? So just keep that in mind as we exercise this little activity. I am going to number you 1 or 2. 1 shall 2 shall gather ye. 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 Do you hear the difference?
Ye.
Listen. Ye. Exactly what I did before. Okay, ready? Here we go. 1 and a 2 and a 1 and a 2 and a 1. And a 2 and a 1 and a 2 and a 1. And a 2 and a 1 and a 2 and a 1 and a 2. She's a 1 and you're a 2. And you're a 1 and a 2 and a 1 and a 2 and a 1 and a 2 and a 1. And a 2 and a 1 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 and a 2 and a 2. 1, go. Take your stuff with you. 2s, go. Take your stuff with you.
Run.
Take your stuff with you, like I just said.
Go here.
Just second base.
Yeah, don't leave that for Trevor.
I'm going to.
You never got one.
You're one team. Nobody should be like. There should be a clear gap between the ones and the twos. Clear gap. And then within your one group, choose your leader.
Will.
No, Will's a commie. Now Will's
Who shall? Why don't you guys take this table and that table? And then you guys can like squish the desk. Don't take this one, guys. Just shake it. So is that all right? Thank you. Have we identified our leader? All right, very good. And how about over here? Do we have a leader? Nope. Okay, so listen, leader, you have the responsibility of subdividing your group into 3 groups. The 3 groups are Team Lemon, Team Coercion, and Team Endorsement. Lemon, Coercion, and Endorsement. Or if you want, 1, 2, 3. It has to be evenly split. Go.
All right, ready? Watch this. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
You just made Jack mad.
1, 2.
Don't make Jack. You're 1. I think ones are over there, right? Is that ones? Wait, you have another one. He's turning.
What's the pattern? It's supposed to be. One's there, 2's there, 3's there. These are the first.
It doesn't matter. Okay.
Let's go.
Subdivide into your new team. Let's have Lemon sit at that table and Endorsement at that table, Coercion at that table. Same thing over here. Subdivide into your team. Lemons will be at this table. Endorsement will be at that table. Coercion will be at this table.
The only way that it works is if you listen.
No, we have to be.
I don't know why I got it. I just wanted to.
And now, Will, it's either a 1 or a 2 that I have behind my back. I promise I won't lie. Don't tell him. Okay, is it a 1 or a 2? I promise I won't change it. 1 or a 2? You should be on Price is Right. It was a 2. Okay, so that means that you get to ask your team, does this team want to argue that the words should be removed or not? You're taking the team of your choice. They have to do the
All
other.
right, I want to hear a conclusion for each group. I want a vote in each group and see which side you want to do.
Yes means remove the words. No means leave them alone.
No? No? Please self-allow. Yeah, no, I wasn't self-allow. I wanted to keep the good project going. We're gonna argue now.
So you're removed. All right, very good. All right. So now I have something on the screen that is going to be helpful for all of you. The Supreme, listen to me first, and then you're free to look at this. The Supreme Court heard the case. Michael Newdow sued the school district of Elk Grove, California. It made it all the way to the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court said, all right, we're going to create 3 tests. And if the pledge fails the test, it's gone. One of them was called the lemon test. If you're Team Lemon, this is the column you're paying attention to. There's 2 Team Lemons. Team Lemon, leave it alone. Team Lemon, get rid of it, right? The second test was called the endorsement test. There are 2 endorsement tables, right? There's the endorsement for leave it alone, and there's the endorsement for get rid of it. And the third one was called the coercion test. And again, there are two tables. Okay, so I want to make sure we understand this. So the lemon test, the Supreme Court said, all right, how do the words match up with something called the lemon test? Something is unconstitutional if the words are unconstitutional if they do these things. If they're unconstitutional, they gotta go. So lemon people, you have to look and you have to make an argument to persuade the jury. The jury isn't here right now, but will be arriving shortly. The jury's not here, but soon will be. Okay? You have to convince the jury to see things from your point of view. This team is you want the jury to conclude that the words are constitutional, that they are secular. Secular means non-religious, right? That the words are fine. So lemons, look at this. Call me over if you have any questions. Okay, I'm here to help you. Okay, same thing. Endorsement. Something is unconstitutional if it fails this test. If it does this, gotta go. You guys are then arguing it doesn't. You guys are arguing, yeah, it does. It fails the endorsement test. Same thing. Coercion. It is unconstitutional if it does these things. You guys are arguing it fails them. It does these things. You guys are arguing, no, it doesn't. Okay? You have a few minutes to think about it. Like, I'm going to give you a good solid 10 minutes to think about what you want to say. And then the jury's going to come in here and you are going to make your argument to the jury, not each other, to the jury. Okay? So you've got a chunk of time right now to think about what do you want to say to convince the jury to see things your way. Okay?
All right.
Off you go. I'm going to go get the jury. Do you have any questions? I'm here.
Why do we have no choice?
Where's my lemon? I'm going to sit with you guys. Just so we understand what's going on. You want to say that we have an outrage.
I will help you.
Is a non-religious
Yes, everybody around them, they're right, everybody's their center, and they get whacked.
or maybe Are you Catholic?
Well, no, it's still, it isn't, it doesn't,
That's like the first one. The first one. I asked
Number two, the words are primarily to advance a religious view. You're arguing primarily to advance a religious view. There are other points. Words have an excessive attention. Does it have a little bit of an attention?
I would do. I would say.
Okay, this. I need to straighten this out.
You guys
Yeah,
So let's look at what it says. Something is favorite preferred. Why can't I write? Yeah, let's say the word. It's just sort of generic.
Oh no, it's not. They're just gonna copy this. Will's the best leader.
No, he's not.
Will's our leader.
You spelled it wrong.
No, I didn't.
Put an S in it.
Oh, same thing. Sounds right.
See, I will.
Your supreme leader is amazing.
Yeah.
I've heard of
Okay, which team is this?
Oh no, this. There's social pressure and it's pressure from my teachers and stuff. Teachers most of
Yeah.
If I were you guys, I'd be writing down this. Also, it's also good that we have this paper in What is this a cheater, man? Oh.
That's why I lost. When you're doing like the things like 8th grade, Jack says it's like some crazy stuff. I didn't really get
So this
Like you try to do mine, you're like just like an off-brand meeting. You try to do what I did.
Oh, the jury? No, I promise the jury.
I feel like there's more people here than there is. I feel like you're more qualified. It's five. I feel like it's not the superior brain of something. I got Jackson. So, you want to have a discussion? You're like the angry dad.
What other possibilities?
Well, I am. I know that they're
So you need to it's primary, something that shares.
Who's that?
If it wasn't excessive, she should have helped her. But she didn't. Arrogant for those people who are Christian to say to those who are what's the big deal?
I did.
Of course, it's adopted.
Oh,
No, put it down. Put it down. You're gonna win. I'm sorry for being this shit.
Right. Either way.
Is it okay if this bad boy starts at 1:30?
Yes. 5 minutes.
About 4 minutes. Yep. Okay. Fine. When it occurs, what will happen is I will be the one sort of directing who's going, and I will say, all right, lemon test, remove. You're first. Go. And you're talking to the jury. I introduce the jury. There he is.
hello. Why is he always your jury?
Because he's really good at it.
Every time.
He's
Because I pick winners and losers.
exactly. I've had experience with other juries, and the teacher will say, well, you both did great. Nope, this is America. Winner, loser. Hey, you got 5 minutes though. So
One thing that I would say is